Hey everyone, welcome to the Costume Jewelry Chronicles with Lynn and Carrie. Each episode we will feature a new vintage costume jewelry designer and talk a little bit about jewelry reselling. We hope you enjoy. All right, so we're talking hair accessories today, and I did an AI search for 1900s to 1980s, basically, and got some good points that I just want to, it's not really elaborate, and Carrie's going to go through some of the sold on eBay when we're done. And this first part of this presentation is not going to say that these pieces are worth a lot of money. It's just telling you what comes out of these different periods. And then at the end of the presentation, I'll show you some of the different things that AI said is selling well. And then Carrie's going to prove it to us with looking at eBay. So early 1900s was the Edwardian period and the Belle Epoque, or Epoch. And they had these elaborate hair combs made of celluloid back then, which celluloid was invented in 1869, and it was used throughout the early 1900s. And then tortoiseshell, which was often pierced or carved. You'll see metal, and a lot of times that metal is sterling. So if you think the piece is old, you might want to check to see if it's sterling. It could be marked. It may not be marked that early. And brass, you'll see some of them too. And many times it was a combination of the materials. Sometimes the top of the hair comb was metal, and the combs were actually celluloid. So you'll see a lot of mix. You'll probably see the mixes early on, like in the 1900s to 1950s time frame. So they used tiaras. That was one of their bigger things back then, and jeweled hairpins for more of a formal wear. And here, this is the Gibson girl hairstyle. I had to pull these fun hairstyles up. And with this hairstyle, they often had to use large ornamental pieces. So here's a comb from the Belle Epoque. I don't know how to say that correctly. It has, let me zoom in some. It has like a metal addition onto this. And I believe it's got rhinestones or marcasites or something in it, and faux pearls. And then on the right is a Tiffany comb, which is kind of similar, except you can see the crown. They wore a lot of tiaras, so you kind of have that crown effect on a lot of these. And I'm sure that's probably, it could be diamonds, who knows. There's a more simple, these are more for the common person. They are more simplified with just rhinestones. They probably called them paste back then, paste stones. And then this was pulled out of a museum image, which I thought was kind of cool. All these different, they look more of a common one that you would see. But they're probably from the early 1900s and earlier. And some of these are actually hinged. I think these two up on top, yeah, these are hinged. This one is silver. I think it's sterling, but I thought that was a pretty cool representation of some of the older ones. And here we have some Art Nouveau style, and see how she's wearing it in her as like a tiara. And she's got some additional ones here. So they used a lot of these for them, the hairstyles they had of the time. This one on the left is Art Nouveau. The one on the right is one of the hinged ones I was talking about. I guess that's so you can prop it so it shows the jewels in the proper way. That one on the right is Edwardian, and the middle one is Art Nouveau. Then we have some early 1900s. This looks like celluloid with some more rhinestones. This one has a bat. I think the bat, was it in the Victorian period, represented something. I don't remember what it is, but it had some representation. These are some early 1900s hairpins. They're on metal, mostly two spike. This one's a one spike. and some celluloid pins with the different toppers on them. Then we reached the 1920s, which is the flapper era, where they had sleek bob hairstyles, and they used Art Deco barrettes, hair clips, and beaded headbands with rhinestones and feathers. I'll tell you what, I searched and searched for authentic 1920s feathers headbands and couldn't find an image. I found tons of images, but all of them are new, remade, sold on Amazon, sold in China, sold in, Alibaba, but I bet that the feathers just deteriorated over time, and there's just not a whole lot out there. So if you find an authentic one, you'll know it. It would probably be ragged, but they are hard to find pictures of. But look at this one on the left here. It's pretty elaborate. They did more in the back side of their hair, according to this image, as compared to the early 1900s, where they wore more tiaras on the top front of their hair. They used geometric shapes and straight lines more so than the Art Nouveau and the Art Deco kind of overlaps, so you'll see a mix in here. And celluloid and bakelite started replacing the tortoiseshell. I don't even know if I brought that up. The tortoiseshell is another thing from back here. You know what? The more I look at this, I think these are tortoiseshell. But anyway, bakelite comes in the 20s, and you'll see some of them here. And for Art Deco French ivory is really celluloid. They took celluloid and pressed it and in layers, and they could put different colors in there. So they varied the ivory colors and made it look like lines. So when they cut it, it had the look of ivory, but ivory was used by the elite, and they wanted something more for the general public. So they came up with a cheaper plastic celluloid version, and they called it the French ivory. And they modeled it after the designs from Paris. So you had the look of the Paris designs, but in a cheaper version. And then the one on the left is a good example of Art Deco with the straight lines. And that's celluloid. Celluloid comes in lots of different colors. They can make it in just about any color. I think this one on the right it might be bakelite. It's kind of hard to tell by the picture. These two are celluloid, but they could do intricate designs on them. This looks like just typical. It makes me think of the theaters of the time. Pretty cool looking. Hang on, I need a drink. Then we reached 1930s and 40s, which was more getting into the Hollywood glamour time frame and World War II era. And they had a return of longer waves and curls. I had a picture. I think I have a picture of them. And rhinestone barrettes and lucite combs came in, and the bakelite clips were still around. And wartime utility also inspires fabric turbans and snoods, which are the netted bun covers, and they're kind of beaded, which we'll look at one here in a bit. But this is kind of a transition period between the 20s style, like Art Deco, and the Hollywood glamour. So you get these funky shapes. And a lot of times these little hairpins are just decked out at the top with rhinestones. So the one on the left is 30s, the one on the right is 40s, obviously. All right, this one is bakelite with the decorative tops again. And they also did a lot of hair or flower clips and hats and headbands and that type of thing. And this little hair clip, I kind of remember seeing these. I think I see these at estate sales once in a while. These hair grips where it's like a banana clip that pulls apart and clamps. 1940s style. Here's another one of those funky swirls. And then a hair bun holder. And this is one variation of the snoods. A lot of times they're more of the softer fabric, knitted, macrame, or whatever you want to call them. They're made with like cord or fabric cotton with rhinestones or beads on them. Then we reached the 1950s and they started doing more ponytails and curled and sculpted hair. The popularity of plastic headbands, metal bobby pins, and decorative tips and floral clips. They used faux pearls, ribbon, and lace in their accessories. Here's an image of a bow headband. I'm guessing this is probably just plastic or bakelite. So hard to tell sometimes. Here's a picture of a typical 1950s pearl and rhinestone hair clip and one of the lucite etched or reverse carved and hand painted hair clips. And then 1960s was the big hair and beehive hairstyles, heavier reliance on teasing combs, hair rats, and wide headbands. They were bright mod styles and plastic and vinyl clips, vinyl headbands. And the hair falls and wigs become fashion staple. Like here, it shows the hair falls where they added on to the backs of their head. Honestly, I always thought they were just styled that way. It tells you a lot of what I know. The hair rat set, my mom had one of these in her drawer. The one on the left here. I recall a couple of these. You'll find these at estate sales. And the one on the right looks vicious. Like you could keep that as a weapon, but it's good for teasing. Here's a nice little mod headband. Typical 1950s. I thought was kind of cute. And then we start reaching the 60s, 70s, 80s. And here's a variety of barrettes you'll find from that time frame. In the 70s, you think bohemian vibes, flower children, flower power, braids, and center-parted hair. And it was the popular time for macrame headbands, suede tiebacks, and hair forks and picks. Ethnic and Native American inspired designs like beads and feathers. But then we have a whole different aspect. This is more of I guess the children's version of the 1970s where they used yarn just for ties. And these little ponytail holders, check this out. I was floored when I seen this. And again, it's new in package, but it does have a chop out of it. I guess it's still sealed, sold for $641. And I'm sure Carrie's got a lot of these pulled up. It's not overwhelming a lot. There's some that you'll just be blown away by. And here's some simple plastic hair clips that we've seen everywhere. I've seen everywhere because I grew up in the 70s.
I've seen those new in package many times in attics and in weird places.
Yeah.
Walk right past it.
Yeah. We bought too many. We never used them. We kept using our old clips. Here's some variation of combs from that time frame. Then the 1980s. Look at this, Carrie. Isn't this fun? Yes, I didn't have this wild of a hairstyle, but I love the 80s. That was my favorite time of life.
Yearbook photos. Come on.
No way. I do have a little bit of a poof on the top, but nothing like this.
I was born after that era, thank God. But I want to see your guys.
Thank God. The 80s were the best era ever.
They were. So, I'm with you, Lynn. They sure were.
It all went downhill since then. Yeah. Bold, voluptuous hair and playful styles, explosion of crunchies, banana clips, jaw clips, and fabric bows, neon plastics, faux animal prints, rhinestones, everything big and bold. God, I love these. Like this whole page, they're all them hairstyles. Cracks me up. Um, Goody, I had some of these banana clips, and this right here is probably not real high priced, but it's in a package and it's a Goody brand, and Goody brand is always good. Just remember that. Good Goody. And another variation of banana clips and some fruit barrettes and the clips. I crack up every time I see these clips because I had a friend who used to wear one on the top of her head, and she'd walk around and it would flip back and forth. And her name was Kim, and I always call them Kimmy clips. Just it's annoying little thing that bothered me. Anyway, scrunchies and big, bright, bold colors and animal print scrunchies. So according to AI now, these are the accessories that would sell well on eBay. Victorian and Edwardian celluloid or faux tortoise shell, especially tall pierced designs in the combs we're talking. And I agree with that. Lucite or rhinestone combs from the 1930s to 50s. Yes, definitely. Hair combs from the 1970s, plastic. Variations of that sell well. And the Spanish Matilda style hair combs that are plastic and or metal. And here's what they're talking about with the Spanish mantilla. I said that wrong. Mantilla style hair clips, combs. Then designer marked examples like Henry Bendel, which is more modern, and France Luxe. And that's a keyword you could use for this particular design. Not There's variations of this, so we should kind of look at some of them. And clips and barrettes, the Art Deco rhinestone or celluloid barrettes from the 20s and 30s. Bakelite or lucite clips, especially carved, laminated, or figural. And then in the 1950s, rhinestone barrettes, the 1980s banana clips, especially if they're marked France or Goody. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean they're high priced. That just means they probably sell pretty well. In 1980s Goody, new old stock. That is a definite. And the double ball ponytail holders I added to that. And the headbands and wraps from the 1920s, beaded or feathered headbands. Again, if you find one, good luck. 1960s mod plastic headbands. And the 1970s boho braided leather or macrame wraps. I don't know about that one. We'll see. Here's what they mean by that. And designer examples like Emilio Pucci, Gucci, and Givenchy. But, you got to take that with a grain of salt, too. We have to look them up. And then hairpins and hair sticks. So these Japanese kanzashi style pins or carved sticks. And here's some different designs of that. They sell pretty well. Early celluloid or metal floral hairpins, and figural or whimsical novelty pins from the 40s and 50s. And then the snoods or hairnets from the 1940s wartime, often crocheted or knitted. And here's an example of that. And velvet trimmed or sequin accented ones are desirable. And then scrunchies. Original vintage scrunchies, especially branded or dead stock. Goody brand jaw clips, barrettes, and hair combs. And novelty styles like glittered, metallic, or animal print. So that is it. That's what AI is telling me will sell well on eBay. And I see that you're telling me, is that you with the hair clip? Oh, you're talking, I didn't read the previous ones. Nicole, it does look like Nicole. Yep, straight out of the 80s. That's cute.
But like with the ball thing in my hair, and then the remember those necklaces with those little plastic charmy things? I mean, it was all about that in the 80s.
Oh yeah. Yep, definitely. Larry had long hair, parted in the middle, Bee Gees style. Yeah. That is how my brother looked too. Male equivalent to big hair. Yep, with the
Those
curls.
little knocker bead hair things hurt when you would slip and
Yes, they did.
be
Yes,
trying
they
to get your
do.
big hair in them and slip and
They still do.
and your mom could whack you in the head with them too
Yep.
if you weren't sitting
Your
still.
hair, your head hurts after wearing them all day.
Yeah, you do it too tight, they do. That's for sure.
Yeah, there was other like different hairbrushes that also were used as disciplinary, like "Shh, sit still. Like always get whacked in the head with them. Um, all right, guys. So like Lynn said, so there's not like a huge volume of hair accessories. And I have found just a warning when we're sourcing. So that those old, really nice combed ones that are like probably early celluloid and stuff, if they haven't been stored correctly, they will disintegrate in a bag. So I have found them in bags and stuff, like really old ones. And then as soon as I open it, just they just disintegrate. So I didn't know that until it happened to me like twice. And I'm like, oh, this must be a storage issue. So just I don't know. I don't know what the right way is, but I don't know if maybe they just disintegrate over time anyway. I'm not really sure, but I've had it
Well,
happen twice.
celluloid is so fragile, it just cracks fairly easy.
Literally it'll just be like a puddle in the bag. Like it's crazy. Um, and don't use the word because I totally agree with what you said. I've always called that French celluloid too. Don't use or French ivory. A lot of people use that term. Don't use it in your titles. eBay doesn't like it. But I've always called it that too. So it's not wrong. It's just eBay will flag you for ivory, which we don't want. Let's see. What do I have here? So yes, so this seems to be the price range for one of the boxes on eBay. A lot of them are selling in this range, which is still really good because we can find these things at garage sales and stuff all the time when mom's cleaning out the basement, and things like that. So about the $30 range seems to be pretty common for one package of these. And like 25 for I don't know if I didn't use those banana clips right, or if my hair just wasn't right for it, but they never worked out for me like they did other people. I had them.
I love them.
I don't know. They just weren't for me. Again, about the $30 to $40 range. Probably depends on color and stuff like that, but they're pretty consistent in that. I mean, I would definitely pick them up for a couple bucks at a garage sale. So I think we can pretty well agree on that. I don't even know what these are, I guess, but I think they're just like that brand. Lynn had kind of put a bug in my ear about the French Lux. So here's some just regular hair ties from them, but they do have some nicer things. When I'm showing you the hair accessories sold, I did not include the Chanel and Gucci's and stuff because I hesitate to ever even list a Chanel on or a Gucci on eBay because I don't know enough about it. So I did not include those because I don't know. I don't know what's authentic or what's not. So I just don't list them on eBay. But this is a pretty like, I don't know, basic thing here that we could find. And this isn't even a really old one or anything. This is just a hair accessory. So I found this kind of interesting, some of them. This is a French Luxe, just hair clip, little jaw clip.
And how would we know it's French Lux?
I think they're marked right there.
Where?
They are marked. Yep.
Can you see it? I didn't see a name.
Yep. It was right here.
Can you zoom
Right
in
here,
on it?
Oh,
here.
okay. Now I see.
Yep.
All right. Thanks.
Yep. And this was also the French Luxe, and these are headband wraps. So these would always like pop off my head. So like these kind of headbands, I feel like maybe my head's just an odd shape because I would wear them and they would just like pop off. So
Me
no
too.
cute.
Yep, same here.
No cute headbands like that for me. They would just pop off my head. And the other ones gave me headaches from digging into the tops of my ears. So I did, however, wear those. I just suffered with the headaches. Headbands are great, but yeah, no. So that's pretty good price for some headbands, and they look a little, pelty and worn. So that was that brand, I think. So here are the French Lux regular clips and stuff, and I don't think these are old. I think they're just this brand.
Wow, they're on
So
the radar now. That's crazy.
And you could definitely find somebody that just always bought that brand and has a bunch of them. This is what's crazy to me.
Yeah,
And
look
this is a very consistent price on eBay for these barrettes,
I know goody be goody, but wow, that's crazy.
right?
Yeah, I forgot
how
about
often-
them. I didn't include them. That's
Yeah.
right.
How often can we find bags of these at a garage sale?
I see these all the
Yep.
time in the bathroom drawers and in estate sales all the
Bet you
time.
get 'em now.
I had no idea. I didn't have any idea. So this is like I said, even though they aren't like $200-300, this was what impressed me doing this research.
Is those
That's
marked?
incredible.
Are those marked too
I
somewhere?
don't even think so. I
Yeah,
did
do
not
they
see
have a goody
marking.
mark on them?
I don't
Just
think
metal
so.
clips. I remember wearing those. It's just the metal
Mhm.
clip. Yeah.
I don't think they're marked.
I don't
Yeah.
think so either.
Gotta grab them up, those metal ones.
Oh
Look at
boy.
these. But
I
there
got a
were
whole new room
consistent
that
solds.
Yep.
Consistent solds at $50 for a couple of them.
you got a sell through on those by chance? Or you say
No,
consistent, but okay, never mind.
but the sold prices were very much in that same.
That's incredible.
These aren't even the expensive ones. I mean, these are just plastic.
Last,
Like,
I need to go through my clips like I did my bracelets and sell some.
these aren't vintage clips.
yeah, well, they are.
Well, I mean, yeah, probably
not old,
technically,
old.
but they still make them. I mean, how do you tell the
Right.
difference? Yeah,
Well,
mean,
there
yeah.
is a banana clip in there. And
you
that,
can still buy banana
yeah.
clips. I don't know why the heck people
Like
want them,
that?
but yeah,
Yeah, you can still buy
Yeah.
banana clips. Yeah.
I
just
guess
like
I
that.
haven't looked for them in a long time.
I go
Yeah.
down the Walgreens aisle every once in a while, and they have them just like that.
But it's like, how do you, I mean, how do you tell those different?
I don't think they were special, Lisa. I think it's just people that have lots of hair that wants lots of accessories, and they could buy a whole bunch of them for $50. It's still cheaper than going to the store. You know,
Yeah.
I was surprised too.
Good to know.
So this guy sells I've had the necklaces of this brand. So for one little barrette here. His necklaces sell pretty good too. Here are some cloisonne, probably 80s if I had to guess. 90s maybe. Probably 90s. We had stuff like this in the
Yeah.
90s. Two of them for $55. So it wasn't
I
really
don't
the
know
hot.
that them are technically cloisonne. I think it's just like a enamel.
They aren't, but either are the cheap necklaces and earrings that everybody
Right.
calls that too.
Yeah.
It's pretty. I like that one.
That is a really pretty one, I thought too.
Yeah, I would
I
wear that.
wonder. Yeah, I thought so too. There's a stamp on that one, Mexico. This one is a vintage hair comb ornament with crystals, and it's got, so the second picture like didn't work, so, but it has, I bet that bends or not. Maybe it just sticks up out of your head. I don't really know, but I don't think it's as vintage as, like, that's not like old. You could tell by the
That's
metal.
probably 30s, 40s, 30s maybe. It's that
Maybe.
old pot metal looking stuff.
Yeah, you can tell by how it wears, but I just meant it wasn't like Victorian old, I don't think. But it's
Yeah.
cool. It's cool. I guess I don't want it in my head, but here's a Kirk's Folly hair clip. I didn't even know they had hair clips. Apparently they do. So that was different. Here's three. And look, they even
And
look
you
all
got
worn and stuff.
It's
the
insane.
tortoise shell look.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
I'm surprised they're getting away with using that in their titles, but tortoiseshell. So here's the 80s, which I think lots of us have these too.
Mm-mm.
and the little dogs and stuff. However,
Mhm.
they do make these again. The ones like with the birds and the dogs and stuff that look just like this. They make them now. You can get them again. Like they repopped them. So I don't know. I'm
What
assuming
is
you
the
want the
toothbrush for? Do you stick a toothbrush in your head, in your hair?
No, I think it's just that brand of stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, you could live your, YOLO, Nicole. Go for it. Yeah,
Good.
here's those Mervin hair clips, which I bet we see these at garage sales too, and just don't pay attention. Like I would guess there's probably some of these bags of these weird things that we just don't know to look for. Well, at least I don't know to look for them. Here's one, and I have sold Sweet Romance barrettes before. I don't know that I had the Naked Lady one, but
We'll see.
Sweet Romance is a hit and miss for me for jewelry too. So this one kind of surprised me because this isn't new, but apparently it's Burberry and it's a headband. So
Anything Burberry sells good.
Mm-hmm.
check it out. Here's a sterling silver barrette. This is a neat ornamental clip. Oh, that one was neat.
Mm-hmm.
And here's a whole set of those cloisonne, fake cloisonne combs sold for $125. So
And I used to have those. That's crazy.
And they're metal
mhm,
combs.
Yep.
yep. They say vintage and they are probably vintage, but they're not like super old vintage. They're, some of them are older than others, but
I'm
got a
definitely hitting
array of.
those bathroom top drawers at my
You
next
and me
estate sale.
both. You and me both. Wow.
I'm not because I don't want to touch anything in there.
We know you don't. We don't care.
There might be like a stray hair or something, and I'll be like,
It's gonna
I
jump
hate
out.
the bonus
God
hair on
forbid.
jewelry freaks
It's
me out.
gonna jump out and get you,
Oof.
The bonus hair is free though.
right?
No thanks. So my cat would totally take off with this.
Yeah.
Those
for
little,
real.
little mink ball pins and stuff, she gets all of them. She loves those. These just really kind of surprised me. I don't know. That's from
What
freaking
is up
Kmart,
with that
guys.
one?
That's from Kmart.
What the heck?
It is. It's crazy. Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
because
know,
it's made in
'cause-
France.
Oh my
I
goodness.
don't know. I suppose.
Mm-mm-mm.
I don't know. The tortoiseshell look is in right now, though. Like I've been selling bangles and stuff for pretty good money that are tortoiseshell color that I wouldn't have thought a year ago that I would have got that kind of money for. See, these are too pretty light. Like these did not sell for because I mean, maybe because they're sterling, but it's not, the price isn't in the sterling because they're old hair clips. So that's something we may think like, well, there's only a couple bucks in sterling here, but it has the value and the history. Here's some of those little knockers. So right when I started, so these are loose, right? So these are loose. So don't just, I mean, if you can find them for a quarter, for a whole box of them, it might be worth picking
I
up.
think
Here's
that
like,
person undersold them.
that's true too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And look at all these,
sure.
like they're just little hair ties. So yeah, those things just, and remember the scarves? They didn't sell for very good money, so I didn't include them, but all those tacky scarves we used to wear in our hair in the 90s.
Mhm.
Crazy. So I was surprised. I thought I was going to find some amazing vintage celluloids. There wasn't a ton of them. There wasn't a ton. So I've had the celluloid hair things and stuff, but yeah, I guess I just wasn't expecting the stuff that I remember as a kid being the stuff that I was going to be like, hey, this is what we need to be looking for. I was really expecting it to be more of the old stuff, but it really wasn't. So it was
I
kind of
just
shocking.
don't think there's a lot out there.
Well, I wonder after I got those couple batches that were totally disintegrated, if that's what happened to a lot of them. Because I was like, I don't know, I've never had things like they were like sticky, like in both times, different people. So I wonder if they don't have some chemical reaction if you leave them in certain plastic too long, because they just turned into a sticky, icky mess. So
I think
We gotta
Jason
learn to
Adams said
possible.
don't put it in plastic.
I think so too. I think they're right on that. And we're gonna have a vintage. I'm not one that likes purses for the same reason I don't want to go digging around in medical cabinets because I never know what they smell like or look like, or like purse dirt is not for me. Like, nope, ain't doing it. If it's got purse dirt, it's going in the garbage. Um, nope. So I don't use, but I got two really good lots of old purses, some of even the old mesh ones this week. So we'll have some of those to share hopefully in a couple weeks. But I got one yesterday. It smelled like elderly person. I don't know what to do about that. I don't know if I can sell it and be like, smells like grandma.
You're funny with these germs, but people that wear jewelry, they be sweating and everything else. There's germs.
Oh, I know. I don't like that either. I don't know. I don't know, Lisa. It's all icky to me, but I deal with it, I guess.
Just think how dirty your hands get just handling jewelry when you're cleaning it. It's disgusting.
It is disgusting. Like that jewelry blackening that you get from handling a bunch of it. It's like, oh yeah. I don't like it either.
I sort the jewelry in the living room, and my wife really does not care for that because it smells
on her white carpet.
Yeah, well, we got hard floors, but yeah, there's the dust that goes everywhere, the weird little particles of mystery stuff, and my hands smell like 8 variations of perfume, and the room just takes on an odor.
I've thrown away jewelry before that I can't get the perfume smell out. I don't know. Sometimes it won't come out.
How do we sell vintage jewelry vintage perfume with perfume in it? We just put vintage on it?
It's got to be new or it's against policy.
If it's vintage, it's got to be new. What do you say? If it's vintage,
got to be any
perfume. Yep.
Okay. Can't be open.
Right.
People do it, but they just don't get caught sometimes. But
yeah, sometimes it slips through, but they're pretty hardcore on it, so I wouldn't try it. You could sell it on Poshmark probably, I think, or dump it out and sell the bottle. That's what most people are buying it for.
I got a bureau for it a long time ago when I was selling everything.
I think they're high.
You could probably put it on Macari too.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
Catherine.
Well, I had gotten a bunch of the celluloid, the faux turquoise that I still have to list. But I got this one and I'm so sad about it because it came in a lot. All the little teeth are broken off, but it has these really cool embellishments at the top with these glass cabochons, purple, like amethyst.
Too bad it's all.
You sell them at a craft lot for sure.
That's cool.
That's what I was thinking. I would just put it in a craft lot. Isn't that sad?
Yeah, it is. It's a nice piece.
They do get brittle though. Those teeth get brittle. So
yes. I was just looking at one too that I have. It's just a little comb, but I was looking at it closely because Carrie's talking about disgusting stuff, and I'm thinking all the hair products that are on this, it's got like a caked on matter.
My latest jewelry lot my latest earring, really good earrings, so it's worth it. But I'm like, were you putting foundation on your ears? Because I feel like you were wearing foundation on your ears because it's just caked in foundation. And I'm like, oh, yuck.
Yep.
I sent some to my photographer and I'm like, so if you see any leftover makeup, could you wipe it off? And I send a little wipe with it. But that wasn't a photographer thing. That was like, she knows she's my friend and she'll scrape crap off for me because she knows it freaks me out.
Thank you everybody for joining Jewelry Call. See you next week.